Hello. Can't tell who that is behind that bright light.
Oh, I believe it's from the air.
Wow. Andy, they were supposed to have done them like a year. We were supposed to have reserved a table for the DJ.
Me too. You know what's really bad? The only time I worked was for a funeral or a wedding.
It's great to be here. Reunion with so many nice fellas that we haven't seen in years and years and years. It's a real tribute to Ronnie, who really worked hard to put this together. I'm Ed Miller. I'm in the class of 60, and there's a bunch of us here from 60, and it's really great to be here. I got fond memories with a lot of people here. I can't give you any. I tell you, who knows? What can I say? It's just great being with all these guys. That's all I can tell you.
Okay, hi, I'm Dan Miller. Happy to be here. Of course, I live here, so it's much easier for me to be here. Thinking about the fondest memories I had of Resnick, obviously, were regional conventions that I got to attend in Gary, Indiana, and actually got to go out to Denver, Colorado for a district meeting. But the fondest memory I have is of the, thank you, Ed. Well, the fondest memory I had was the regional convention of 1966, where I was president of that region and was able to enjoy having the convention right here in my hometown. Lots of love to you, Pinky. We're all glad to be here. Thank you.
This is David Davis, 1963 graduate, Seneca High School, member of Resnick AZA. This is a fantastic affair, and I've enjoyed this afternoon meeting old friends again, and I'm sure I'll enjoy the evening tonight and looking forward to tomorrow. There you go.
David Cooper, class of 1969. Been involved on the planning for this wonderful event. It's just tremendous that everybody could make it. The response was overwhelming, and just a wonderful, wonderful feeling to see a lot of old friends come back again. Oh, I got lots of old memories, but I can't tell it on tape, Tony. I'm sorry.
Larry Seidman, I'm in the class of 68. No way. There's Dave Cooper. Marvin Frock, my God. My God.
The Zyke man.
Marvin Frock, I can't believe he was in any graduating class.
Listen, I didn't want to graduate. I love school too well. At least high school anyway.
I bought my first car from this guy. And it's still running.
More than you bargained for.
Yeah, good to see you.
Hello. Hello, guys.
SOS.
That's enough.
Cue me.
I'm Lou Cook. I'm the class of 1952, one of the charter members. We were a big, great basketball team together, and it's having a great time this evening, seeing all the old friends and trying to recognize people, and we're looking forward to the rest of the evening. I'm from Alabama, by the way, and I left my banjo at home. Want more? You want a song? Okay.
Hi, I'm Rob Silver, class of 65.
David Hildebrand, same class.
I have so many fond memories of Resnick that I can't even, all I can say is I came here from many thousands of miles away, and I would do it at any time for Resnick, because it was the most important thing happening to me when I was a young man.
And I was one of those lost souls, but they found me somehow. And when I heard about the reunion, no doubt I was here. And we're just picking up where we left off.
Right.
So
we haven't seen each other in 30 years, and it feels like it was last week.
Okay, I'm Steve Evans. I'm the class of 1955. My class is unique because everyone in this class is still living in Louisville, still living, first of all, and still living in Louisville. We were the charter pledge class. We were not charter members of Resnick, but we came in pretty much the same time all the charter members came in, except we were pledges. What I remember most about Resnick is that I was a basketball star and I was a football star, because I sat on a bench most of the time and kept the teams winning by sitting on the bench. And we're having a wonderful time, and I'm glad to see all our old friends, and it's been great.
Okay, my name is Jerry Abramson. I graduated Seneca in '64. I was in Resnick through the high school years. They were great. Pinky Weisberg was my second dad, kept me on a straight and narrow every time I swayed a little bit. The guys in Resnick, both before me and those that came after me, really were my best friends as I went through high school, and I'm glad to be here many years afterwards, enjoying the camaraderie of the fellows.
I'm Barry Sherman, class of '63.
I'm Barry Cooper, class of '63, and I've never seen Barry Sherman so quiet.
And not a single person tonight has made one Barry joke.
It's just amazing. Tell me when we're on. Are we on? Tony, it's amazing. This class does not age. It's amazing. Bobby Gordon does not age. Does not age at all. The boy looks the same. He picked up a few pounds.
No, about 20 or 30,000.
He shouldn't wear that.
Hello, my name is Arnold Ziegart, and I'm one of the original charter members. And there's so much to recall and recount that I can't begin to really express myself other than this is a happening. We had a happening of the original charter members the other night at my house, and it was like being reborn again. It was as if time had stood still for 45 years, and tonight is just a continuation of a wonderful weekend. I want to thank you for the opportunity to express myself. Thank you.
I guess I'm probably the luckiest man living today. I've got at least 85 to 90 sons, and I'm so grateful for them. And they've all turned out to be good guys. I've never seen so many professional people, doctors and lawyers and psychiatrists, and and they're the same. They haven't changed. Their looks have changed a little bit, but I guess they are complimenting me, but I should compliment them because they gave me a thrill of a lifetime. Not many men have the opportunity to be associated with such fine young guys, and I'm very thankful. And here's to Resnick. There's an old saying that all clubs are good clubs if they're Resnick clubs. Thank you.
It's Marty Ruby, class of '68. I just want to say how proud I am to be a member of Resnick AZA, Chapter 832. A lot of fond memories about Resnick, about all the people here, and about this great facility, Jewish Community Center, as well. Now I'll turn it over to my colleague, Dick Gould.
Hi, Dick Gould, class of '68, along with Marty, and I don't know what to say. It was the greatest group of guys that I've ever been with in my entire life. I don't think anybody's changed. Everybody looks the same to me now as they did back then. I'm just so happy to be here, and I don't think anybody could ever understand, except the guys who are in this chapter, what this meant to all of us. So, at any rate, I say hello to everybody, and whoever watches this tape will remember with me all the great things that we used to do when we were kids. Thanks.
My name is Marvin Frock, class of '69, mighty fine class.
The greatest stud in Resnick history.
It was really, I appreciate that, David. Thank you very much. Thank you. Only because I dated Catholic girls. That's the only reason why he'd say that. But anyway, Resnick was the best. We always had the best times, the best places, the best women, best cars, best women, and we just found the friendship that was always the best in everything. The good part was that we're all here now, some bald, some with real hair like mine, and it was just cool. So it's always good to be here, and I hope we get to do it again. And I got some great stories coming up about Rubinsky, the Coop, the Siegel Man, and many others, but this will be for a later edition. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Ron Weisberg. I'm from the class of 1964. I live in Louisville. Some of my fondest memories of Resnick were triple dating with Jerry Abramson and Ronnie Yaffe in our Volkswagen, sweetheart dances, cutie contests, and of course our weekends and friendship circles. And this has been a great weekend, and I've enjoyed it, and everybody's having a great time.
Also known as, this is Bean Yaffe. Regards to everybody. I'm glad to be here. I'm the class of 70, and there are a lot of people my age here I don't recognize. They all look young, and I'm proud of all of them. I know everybody's doing well, and I'm going to pass this microphone to John Hammond, my cousin, but also the class of 70.
I didn't hear you.
That's good.
I'm Buster, known by several other names, and just glad to be here and celebrate such a nice occasion. And I want to introduce none other than Count Schaffner.
That's me. What are we supposed to say?
Whatever you want to say. Introduce yourself.
I'm Norman Tasman, otherwise known as Schaffner back in the olden days, or various other things. And this is really a joy for me to be here and see all the people that I haven't seen in at least 25 years, in some cases a little bit longer. And it certainly is a great dedication for Pinky, who has, for our early years in our life, kept us focused on a certain direction that we should take in our lives. And I think most people in this room have turned out to be fairly successful and have kept that focus, and we are, it's a pleasure to be here to help celebrate this moment for him, as well as see a lot of dear friends. Thank you.
It's great. You get paid by the word? I'm Andy Siegel from the class of 68, and I would echo what Norman was saying, thanks to Pinky. I think older now and a little more mature, we can really appreciate the enormous investment that he made, and I hope he can see the ripple effects that will continue for even generations beyond tonight. Thanks.
I'm Bob Gordon, class of 71, and I'm living in Memphis, Tennessee right now, working in healthcare administration. And I was very pleased to hear from my brother, who is also an alumni of Resnick, that this reunion was going to take place. And although he can't be here, I wouldn't miss it for the world. I think this is a great time to get together with friends, and also to pay tribute to Pinky and the tremendous influence that he had on all of our lives. He was commenting today how many professional people there were that came out of Resnick, and a number of us said that he helped create the environment for the development that came out of the people that are here today. So I'm just pleased to be here and looking forward to a great evening.
My name's Gary Schreiber. I was in the original group of Resnick. What I remember about Resnick, aside from the great companionship, everybody, and of course, right now we're back after about 45 years, and it's just like we got together for the first time, second time, so on. It's great. But also, I remember the basketball teams and our sports and everything, conferences. I was the third Aleph Gadol behind Ziegert and Stan Berman, so I remember that.
Hi, we're Ray and Lori Davis from St. Louis, Missouri, and we're just delighted to be here for such a fabulous reunion in honor of Pinky Weisberg, our buddy and friend for many years. We love seeing all the old folks that we had heard their names before but didn't really know them, and we like seeing the young folks like ourselves from the class of 71. Thank you for having us, and Sei gesund to everybody.
And I am really glad I finally got to meet all the guys that Ray has been talking about for years.
Yes, cream pie, cream pie, cream pie.
Hello, everybody. As I'm start out being speechless, not knowing what to say other than the fact that this is such a wonderful occasion for me, and calling people for the last 3, 4, 5 weeks and renewing old acquaintances. It's been a great thrill that I've enjoyed. I've been in touch with so many people. I want to thank the committee and my brother Ron for doing so much and all the hard work they did. But I also want to say that in reviewing everyone who's coming, people are coming from 17 different states, although we actually come from 25 different states, with 17 different states. The turnout has been absolutely tremendous. And I don't know, just Resnick was a wonderful thing. It was so important in my life. It just can't be overstated. Thank you.
I am Jay Brodsky, class of 1960, and I am standing in the room that brings back a lot of old memories for everyone here. And I really have to say that this is really beyond all expectation for fun, and to see people we haven't seen in some cases for as much as 35 to 40 years. And the memories are just being rekindled as a result of seeing everyone. And I just hope everyone's having as great a time as I am.
Public speaking. Just want to say thanks to everybody who worked so hard on the committee for this wonderful weekend. The turnout's fabulous. See all these old guys. Resnick was great to me and did a great deal for my future. I just want to thank everybody for coming and enjoy the evening. Alex Spielberg says, Big Al, goodbye.
Hi, I'm Gerald Marks, one of the original members of Resnick. It's a great pleasure to be here tonight. We had a get-together of our members that were the original group last night, and some I haven't seen in 45 years, and it was like we haven't seen each other for 2 days. It was wonderful getting together, and I appreciate the opportunity to have this reunion. Thanks so much.
Hi, I'm Les Davis. I was in the class of 64. It's really great to be here tonight. I love seeing all my old friends. Just want to have a good time. Thank you.
Pinky, Ronnie, Allen, Frankie, hey, you did a great job. We're all here for you, Pinky. Our love for all the time and effort you've given to us. Without you, none of this would have happened. And our fondest memories for, I guess, my whole childhood because of you guys was phenomenal. We love you very much, and we just thank you from the bottom of our hearts. God bless.
Please help yourselves. It's time for dinner, ladies and gentlemen. The buffet.
Hi, I'm Lee Davis, class of 64. For the good and welfare of Resnick, I hope everyone can return maybe 5, 10 years from now. Thanks.
It's incredible.
I'm the class of 66, and Maury Tasman, my old buddy from the class of 66. And we want to say that it's absolutely terrific. This is just so much fun to see everyone from Harry C. Resnick, even though none of us seem to know who Harry C. Resnick ever was. But Pinky looks great, and it's just a lot of fun to see everybody. Glad we could be here.
Hi, I'm Maury Tasman. It's been a wonderful evening. It looking like we've had a lot of classmates and times of old. Half of us don't remember the other people, but everybody's wearing name tags, so it's very helpful in old age. Pinky looks great, and we really appreciate this evening. Thanks.
My name is Mark Cohn. Back when I was known as Mark Kahn. It's a pronunciation issue. The name didn't ever make any change. I was in the class of 1967 with Danny Miller, Jim Gordon, Steve Green. Unfortunately, a couple of those guys couldn't be here tonight, but I have great memories of my years in Resnick. I had a marvelous time in those years. For me, this would have been my 30-year high school reunion, but I never heard from the high school at Seneca High School, but this year I heard from Alan Weisberg that this was happening with Resnick. I didn't want to miss it, and I'm sure glad I'm here. My hat is off, or my deep admiration is there for Pinky Weisberg. He's a fabulous individual. The whole family is wonderful, and I'm glad to be here tonight. Thank you very much.
You were the downfall, Resnick. Nobody wants to see us.
For Pinky. Well, Pinky, this is a great event. He did. It's turned on. It's turned on. He gave me the cue. Mickey, I can't believe it. Well, Pinky, this is great. We'll do it 10 years from now. You know me. I'm going to tell you where I've been or what I'm doing because you know, you and I talk. But it's great to be here, and we love you. And here's Michael.
Thank you. I never got to get a microphone from Jerry Laker before. And keeping this at less than an hour is great. Pinky, thank you very much. From two of your worst little boy nicks, we came out okay, you know?
It happened.
Yeah, thanks.
You been here, Mickey? Come on in here, huh? Come on in here, Mickey. Come on in here, Mickey. Mickey? Oh, I can't believe it. How are you?
I'm great.
Good. Want to say hi to Pinky?
Yeah. Hey, Pinky, you raised a great crop of guys.
Okay.
Am I on now? This whole thing is very disturbing. I mean, everybody I know now is 40 years older than they were, and it's very hard to recognize them. They're bigger and fatter, and they're not the same people that I remember. But I guess it's nice to be here, and it seems to be working out well. Thank you.
I'm on. This is Doug Lamb. I'm from the class of 72. At the age of 43, I'm the baby here. I'm the youngest one here, and it's nice to be the youngest again after so many years. But on behalf of my class, I want to say it's great to be here. It was a great experience in high school and the formative experience of our lives, and we all remember it very well. And that's it.
Hi, I'm Armand Ostroff. I was graduated in the class of 54. I was in one of the original members of Resnick AZA. I was the Aleph Gadol in my senior year in high school, and had a great time with everybody. Joe Bliss was our advisor, and we just were what we believe to be the pioneers of this great group. So this is a fabulous event tonight, and I'm very glad to be here with my wife, Miriam. And I wish everybody lots of good health and happiness in the future. Thank you very much.
My name is Harry Gradman, and I am here with Susan Cohn, who actually was no one that I met during my Resnick years, but I met her at Indiana University, and she's one of the joys of my life.
I'm Paul Knopf, 1968. I remember when a classmate of mine, Glenn Barron's parents, were out of town. Another classmate, Andy Siegel, and I went into his house and did something illegal, but not sexual. Glenn, I think, nor his parents know absolutely nothing about this, but I'm sure they missed all the peanut butter that we ate and the entire bottle of milk that was missing from the refrigerator.
All righty, I'm Glenn Barron. I'm from the class of 1968. This is one of the big thrills of my life in the last 15 years. My memories of Resnick, I loved the poker games. I loved the dances. I hated the fact that despite being Aleph Gadol, I still couldn't get a date. I love everybody here, and thanks for having us.
Bullshit.
Well, there's that.
Okay, there are other situations here. Did I tell you I got a story about you? Hi, my name is Marvin Frock, and I have a story about Mr. Andy Siegel. We were at Seneca High School together, and one afternoon, Andy comes up to me and says, Marvin, I have a question for you. I said, what's that, Andy? He says, Marv, what's it like? I said, what's what like, Andy? And he says, you know what I mean. What's it like? I said, wait a minute, Andy, you don't mean what I think you mean, do you? And he says to me, Marvin, what's it really like getting it? Oh, Andy, you mean what I think you mean? Well, Marvin, you do date non-Jewish women. I said, I do like those Catholic girls. I said, well, let me tell you, Andy, what I'm going to tell you is it's very, very important. I want you to pay. I said, I want you to pay attention, Andy. Well, as soon as I find out, I'll let you know.
Okay, we need to... Okay, 19. To look at, I want everybody to look at the muscles on Stuart Yoffie. All right, 1960. All right, 61. Smile, Bruce Jim. Jerry Steinberg.
Okay, we're going to take two quick pictures. Right here at me now. Hold it. 1, 2. One more, very quickly. Look here at me. 1, 2. Very good.
All right.
Just a little bit. Perfect. Well done. Okay. Over there. Here we go. One more, very quickly. Here we go. 1, 2. Anybody who would like to order one of those?
That's it. Class of 66.
Great.
1960.
Here we go. One more, real quickly. Here we go. 1, 2. Great. Right here, me. Here we go. 1, 2. One more time. Here we go. This one's in focus too. This will be a bonus. 1, 2. Thank you.
Hold on, where's Weber? Weber?
Here we go. 1, 2. One more time. Here we go now. 1, 2.
Okay, class of...
Okay, here we go. Class of 70. Nice smiles. Here we go. Right here, me. 1, 2. One more time. Here we go. 1, 2.
That's great.
please sit down. Arnie Levine said, I could never get this group quiet. I said, no problem. Okay, first of all, I just want to welcome everybody to the Resnick Reunion, the first one in 45 years. So. To start the program, I'd like to call on a few people to come forward. And these people, I want you to know, have excelled when they were in Resnick. And these people, there are a lot of people that were presidents of Resnick, that were regional officers and were district officers. These few people were outstanding at that time. And I want them to please come forward and to start the program. Arnold Ziegert, if you come forward. Barry Sherman, please come forward. Alan Weisberg, Glenn Barron, and Alan Cooper. Now, I understand that a lot of people do not have great memories after all these years, but I got to tell you, first of all, let me say this, that Arnold Ziegert was our first president, as everyone knows. And still alive. Olive Godot.
Turn of the century.
In no special other order, Barry Sherman was our regional Godot and Moscow and district treasurer, right? Right. And Olive Godot, I'm sorry. I think everybody was Olive Godot. Alan Cooper was regional Sagan and district Sagan. Alan Weisberg was regional Godot and district Sagan. And Glenn Barron was regional Godot and district Godot. Before we started every meeting in Resnick, believe it or not, we had a formal, I think we had a formal ceremony. And we'd like to do that for you right now before we start the program. So I'd like to call on Arnold Ziegert to start our program.
The officers will take their stations and the chapter will come to order. Olive Shotar Godot.
Olive Godot.
Are all present members of Resnick AZA, B'nai B'rith, or guests?
Olive Godot. All present are members of Resnick AZA, B'nai B'rith, or guests.
Olive Sagan.
Olive Godot.
See that the Olive Shotar Kotan is on guard and knows his duty.
Olive Shotar Kotan, the chapter is about to study some of the beautiful symbols of Judaism and Americanism. See that we are not disturbed by idlers. Olive Godot, we are safe from intrusion.
Olive Sagan, why did you seek admission to this order?
To join with those Jews who have dedicated their youth to clean living, that they may become manly men.
Olive Mosker, what are the qualifications for membership?
To be a Jew of good moral character and to be filled with the desire to be helpful.
Olive Kohen Gadol, you will lead us in prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven and in our hearts, we humbly ask thee to help us to be worthy sons of thee, to lead clean lives, to think clean thoughts, and to do decent deeds. Help us to be good sons of Israel, loyal countrymen, honorable comrades, worthy of the commendation of all good men.
I now declare the Harry C. Resnick Memorial Chapter number 832, Reunion of the Olive Zodic Olive, open for business. Before I turn the mic over, I just have a very few short comments. First of all, I'd like to thank the Weisbergs for making this reunion not only possible, but a fantastic event, and it especially provided our charter membership group an opportunity to get together that most of us haven't seen each other in 45 years. So our special thanks to the Weisberg family. Also, I would like to explain to the rest of you what casual dress means to the charter members. Will the charter member group please stand up and show what casual dress is? The microphone, I'd like to, at this time, pay a special tribute to the memory of Mr. AZA, our original advisor, Mr. Joe Bliss, who was really responsible for starting what we know today as Resnick AZA. And also, if you'll permit me, I'd like to recall the blessed memory of one of our original charter members, Mr. Irv Shoulderbone Small, who obviously is not with us tonight, but his memory does live on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Arnold. We have the very distinct pleasure of having in our group from the class of 1964, our mayor of 12 years, Jerry Abrams.
Yeah, there you go. Well, here we are. Thanks to Ronnie, and let me introduce to you the folks who've been working so hard here in Louisville for the last 6 months to make sure that this came to fruition. And let me get the guys to stand, and when we've invited them all to stand, then we give them a round of applause. Alex Spielberg, class of 57. Jay not yet. You guys, you brought your fan club. Jay and his wife. Jay Brodsky, 60. Frank Weisberg, 60. Harry Jacobson-Beyer, 63. Stuart Robinson, 63. Ron Weisberg, 64. Alan Tasman, 65. Marty Ruby, 68. David Cooper, 69. And Jim Bornstein, 71. Let's hear it for him. I got to tell you, it's really great to have guys back from out of town. We were over at Ron Weisberg, Ronnie Lane, and Frankie and Barbara had all the out-of-towners over today, and we were talking about the days when, most of us can remember the era. For example, someone was referencing Jerry Beiser at what was the name of that place? Little Abner's, where they used to ring the bell every time that you would have a what, Jerry? What was it? A Stanislaus. Now, those of you that don't remember Little Abner's, it's where, right across from KT's right now. Jim Porter's is there now, and they used to have a Stanislaus every time that happened. If Mike Zeitman, if you haven't seen Mike Zeitman from Houston, if he had bulked up to the level that he is right now, he would have played football at Seneca and been really good. The great story for those of you who just came to town from out of town is that Business First this week had the top 25 money makers in terms of salaries in public companies. And one of our Resnick buffers happens to be one. But the great story is when Dickie Gould told me that the one thing Marty Ruby, although he's making a lot of money now, was never there to cover the check at Josie's Pizza. Never there. Although if you need a loan, based on what I read in the paper, Marty's the guy to see. Rob Silver's here from Seattle, and for those of you that don't remember Rob Silver, he moved to Louisville. I guess his father came in to go to medical school, came into to this community, and was telling us today, he's now out in Seattle. He started a little company in Boston, got bought out by some guy named Gates, and moved out to Microsoft World in Seattle, and he was saying how Pinky and Resnick really made his life in Louisville the kind of experience that gave him a platform upon which to move on. And Rob, it's great to have you with us. I saw you here. The great story I saw, when I saw Barry Cooper, and Stuart Robinson was sitting at my table, and Stuart was saying, the one thing I remember about Barry Cooper is once he got the basketball, you never saw it again. You all remember that? I mean, the guy would never throw the ball to anyone else. Still has it. The original hog. Yeah. And speaking of hogs, you know, you talk. Mark Ammett's here from the Northwest, and Mark Cooper. And Alan Cooper and Mark Ammett are both here. Cooper from Washington, Ammett from Seattle. Alan Ammett and Alan Cooper. Got it. The great thing about those guys is when I was a senior in high school at Seneca, I thought I wanted to go to Vanderbilt, and I went down to spend a day there with my mom and my dad. And we knew we had these Resnick buffers at the ZBT house that we could go over and have lunch. And I remember going over and having lunch, and my mom and dad were sitting there, and here's Ammett, and here's Cooper, and here's the bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. I'll never forget my mother turning to me and saying, "This is a Jewish fraternity?" Also, I was also thinking about the story that Alan Weisberg was telling. He was blaming his broken nose on Marty Comer's football pass in flag football at Resnick. Now, I don't know if you believe that, but that's why he says his nose sort of bends down. And Gary Hildebrand is the only one I know of our group, or anybody's group, who was, I guess, the graduate of '67, who's retired at the age of gosh knows when. I mean, I'm very impressed, Gary, that you're retired. I've got a 5.5-year-old. I'm not even thinking of retiring. And then when you put it all together, you think of the guys that made the difference. The guy that has the highest honor in this room, who rose to the highest level in AZA, carrying the banner of Resnick AZA, is Glenn Barron, our veterinarian. Glenn, he was District Aleph Gadol. I want to introduce to you the charter members who came from out of town, and when they stand, let's get them all up and then we can give them a round of applause, because although one of them told me that at that point Resnick was just a basketball club, of course that wasn't the way it was with us. We were into community service, social awareness, religion. You remember that, Bonnie, don't you? You remember as the sweetheart, you remember that. Let me introduce you to the folks who came from out of town, from our charter members. Stanley Berman from Armonk, New York. Herbie Berman from don't clap until we're ready. Herbie Berman from Deerfield, Illinois. Marvin Honig from Rheinbach, New York. Lou Koch from Huntsville, Alabama. Gary Schreiber from Cincinnati, Ohio. And Robert Madsen from Mount Kisco, New York. Now, for all of us who have been born and raised in Louisville, Bruce Jim, you all remember when we had to change Bruce Roth's name to Jim because he couldn't say Booze. Remember that? And he was Jim, and then all of a sudden he grew up and he became Bruce again. It was incredible. I guess it's an accountant thing. These are the people who are here from out of town, and I want you all to just let them stand for a minute. I'm going to read through them very quickly, and then we'll give them all a round of applause. Don't applaud till I get them all out. Alan Ammett, Seattle, Washington. Alan Cooper, Potomac, Maryland. Arnie Friedman, Pacific Palisades, California. Joe Goldberg, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Max Goldberg, Indianapolis, Indiana. Harry Gradman, Bloomington, Indiana. You lost by 1 point today, Harry. Kenny Krebs, Willamette, Illinois. Fred Morguelan, Santa Monica, California. Stuart Yaffe, Brenneman, did I say that right? Brenneman, Texas. Wayne Beiser, Wayne's going to be with us tomorrow, Plantation, Florida. Barry Cooper, Dallas, Texas. Stanley Iggy Ignato, Cincinnati, Ohio. Barry Sherman, Port Washington, New York. Kenny Silverstein, Hollywood, Florida. Jerry Frock, Gainesville, Florida. Terry Hyman, Maitland, Florida. Marty Comer, Charleston, West Virginia. Ron Yaffe, Grand Rapids, Michigan. David Hildebrand, Asheville, North Carolina. Robert Silver, Kirkland, Washington. Gary Linker, Santa Barbara, California. Andy Roth, Cincinnati, Ohio. Alan Weisberg, Miami Beach, Florida. Mike Zeitman, Houston, Texas. Mark Kahn, Issaquah, Washington, somewhere near Seattle. Gary Hildebrand, Boca Raton. Glenn Barron, Matthews, North Carolina. Charlotte. Jim Bernstein, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Paul Knopf, Seattle, Washington. Andy Siegel, Atlanta, Georgia. Larry Zeitman, San Jose, California. Marvin Frock, Charlotte, North Carolina. Gary Silverman, Plymouth, Michigan. Ray Davis, Chesterfield, Missouri. Bob Gordon, Germantown, Tennessee. And Bennett Ruby, Bay City, Michigan. Welcome, guys. We want to thank Sheila Wallace from the Community, which is the Jewish Community Federation newspaper, for taking an interest in the reunion and printing a lot of articles to get the word out for the Louisville folks that it was going to go on. And we want to thank, I don't know if Annette Sagerman's still here, but Annette Sagerman's always been here, and she's always there when you need her, and she never says the word no to anything. She just makes things happen, and we love the fact that that Annette Sagerman was kind enough to allow us to have Resnick's Reunion and our own little summer weekend, sort of fall kind of, here at Resnick. And Arnie Levine, we want to thank him for his expertise in developing the evening. Now, before we recognize our sweethearts, I have a dozen long-step roses for the lady of Resnick AZA. Now, there are a lot of guys, well, fortunately, we all have mothers, but there's only one mother who's had 4 boys in Resnick AZA. There was Alan Cooper, there was Barry Cooper, there was David Cooper, and there was Mark Cooper, and they're all doing well, doctors and lawyers all, and businessmen. And Rose Cooper, if you'd come up, we have a dozen roses to thank you for being Resnick Mom. Kind, and all 4 of our young men have gone on to do great things for our community. Come on, Mark. Mark's not here. We got David, Alan, and Barry. Alan's the oldest, believe it or not. Look at this group. Look at this group. Yeah. You know, starting in 1961, Resnick decided that we needed to have a woman in our life. And therefore we started we initiated a concept called Sweetheart. I think it was after we were running the cutie contest for a couple of years and we decided we needed to do something else with women other than parade them in bathing suits and make money for our weekends. So we had Sweethearts from 1961 to 1972. We had 2 of them with us. I want to recognize the sweethearts that are here. Bonnie Resnick, who was our first sweetheart. Mrs. Ben Bosco is with us. Bonnie, our first Resnick sweetheart. And another Resnick sweetheart, 1966-67, is Marcia Tarbus. Marcia. For those of you that were involved with Resnick from 61 to 72, let me remind you who our sweethearts were. Bonnie Resnick, as I said, was our first. Harriet Kasdan, may she rest in peace, was our second. Sandra Shavinsky, Rhonda Kasdan, Dale Friedman, Marcia Tarbus that you just met. Helene Miller, who ended up marrying Steve Green, who was a Resnick alumni in 67. Marlene Berman, who married Jimmy Gordon, who's a Resnick alumni at 60. Why isn't Marlene here? Is Marlene here? Oh, Jimmy's not. Okay. That's why Marlene's not here. 69-70, Julie Handmaker. 70-71, Ann Rubin. And 71-72, Alice Waldman were our sweethearts, for those of you who forgot. Gradman, you probably never knew. I wonder if we could have a moment of silence in honor of those of our brothers that have passed away. Arnie Ziegert had mentioned Joe Bliss, who was Mr. AZA. For those of us who never had him as an advisor, he was still there working with BBYO and was so important to us all. Irv Small passed away, class of 52. Ricky Feldbaum was in my class of 64. Howard Knopf in 65. Mike Collar died in Vietnam in 1966. Melvin Goldberg in 1966. Alan Kling died in 1967. Stuart Pressma passed away in 1969, and David Frankel in 1971. I wonder if we can have a moment of silence in honor of our brother. Did I miss someone?
Class.
I said class of. I'm sorry. Class. Didn't I say class of? Class of. I didn't miss anyone, did I? Okay, can we have a moment just to remember those guys who were part of our organization for so many years? Thank you. We're going to have a segment now where I'd like to call on some of the guys to say a few words about what Resnick meant to them, but before I do, I want to read a note that we got from Alan Tasman, who was unable to be with us and felt very badly. Alan is now back in Louisville. For those of you who have not kept up with him, he's a shrink at the, he's a psychiatrist. Sorry, Marty. He's a psychiatrist at the University of Louisville, and his note reads as follows. Dear Pinky and Brother Olives, I'm sorry I can't be with you tonight, but I'm trying to carry on in the Resnick political dynasty tradition to a new phase of my life. I've just been nominated for the presidency of the American Psychiatric Association, and I'm on the campaign trail in Florida this weekend. The lessons I learned in KIO and the District 2 politics still serve me well, especially the wisdom I received from Barry Sherman, my first political advisor. My days in Resnick's changed my life. I have no question, and it's hard for me to believe that my last friendship circle was over 30 years ago. Pinky, you were like a second father to me, and your house was my second home. I always envied the fact that Alan and Ronnie were your real kids. Frankie, you were already away at college, so I couldn't count you in. And that I couldn't live at your house. You did have a big house, Pinky. I mean, we all like coming over to your house. We used to have those heaven and hell dances because your house is the biggest one we could do. I still don't quite understand what you did, Pinky, or how you did it, but you were an amazing presence for an entire generation of young men. You may not be aware of this, but 3 guys from your era have become heads of psychiatric programs. Stuart Yadovsky, Marty Comer, who's here from Charleston, West Virginia, and me, Alan Tasman. I've often wondered if we weren't unconsciously trying to emulate you and work with folks. Congratulations, Pinky, on how all of your boys turned out. There's no way we can thank you enough for the role you played in our lives. I miss you all, and I wish I could be with you tonight. Alan Tasman. We've got some time to listen to a few folks, but before I turn the microphone over, and if we can do this, I'm going to go out or bring people up or whatever. Yeah. I thought maybe I'd say a word or two. Those of you who are from out of town may not know that this community, unfortunately, is going through some difficult times. Our homicide rate is up astronomically compared to what it's been. And most of those who are being killed are children, and most of those who are doing the killing are children. And as I go to these meetings throughout the community, I think about the fact that they don't have Resnick AZA, and they don't have the Jewish Community Center, and most specifically, they don't have Pinky Weisberg, who are setting the role model. They are the role model. He was our role model. They kept us focused on, we joke about it because we were into athletics and social, but you know, we really did pick up a feeling for social awareness and community service and things of that nature. And when I stop and think about it, most of us don't stop and think about it very often, but when you stop and think about it and realize what Pinky meant to us, and how he was there every Sunday at 1 o'clock, and how we were there every Sunday, and how when times were tough, he was always a second dad for so many of us to sit and chat with, and to try to better understand what we were feeling and what we were thinking and how best to focus our attention on the future. So many young people today, if they had a Pinky Weisberg and a Resnick AZA, the kinds of problems that we're unfortunately having occur in this community today and communities like ours all across America would not be occurring, because there'd be a caring adult, one who loved us very much just as a parent would, in our lives, and an organization that we may have kidded about it being a basketball program or a football program, flag football program, or whatever. But the reality was it created a group of young men who sort of stuck together, hung together in high school and in socials, and shared a lot of the difficult times in teenagers' lives. So I, for one, Pinky, want to tell you, as I've said to you every time I see you, everywhere I can, how much you've meant to me and how much you meant to our class and the classes around me, because I see it on the streets of this city. If there were just people like Pinky Weisberg who cared for a child and who was there, a caring adult can make so much of a difference. This man cared about every one of you, and you know that as well as I do, and those who were from classes before him. Joe Bliss was the exact same way. Joe Bliss had that same love in his heart for the young men that he worked with and cared about. But for the 12 or 13 years that Pinky was our advisor, you know, we are better men today because of our experience of having Pinky Weisberg there, standing behind us, standing next to us, not pushing us, but being there when we needed him to give us guidance and understanding. So for one Resnick Bucher, who was never Olive Gadol, I got to tell you that, although we could talk about that later if you like. I'm still not sure how I never got it, but I never got it. But I broke the train of thought. Stuart, you know, it's a long story. The bottom line is Pinky's a hell of a guy, and we are so much better off today as a result of the guidance and leadership of Charles Pinky Weisberg. We love you, Pinky. Pinky wants to say something, but not until we hear from some of the guys. And I know Jerry Steinberg wants to stand up and before anybody else speaks, give the rendition of one of the great philosophical concepts that this community has learned to come to grips with and understand and truly appreciate, because it was said for years after Jerry Steinberg was in Resnick. But it's a concept, it's a phrase, it's a feeling in your heart that very few men can have without the leadership of Jerry Steinberg. Jerry, would you like to repeat what you said 30 years ago that really gave a focus on this chapter?
All clubs are good clubs if they're Resnick clubs.
By far, a profound thought. All right, who would like to say something? Come on up and speak to the mic. Who would like to say something? What about it? Anybody? BJ? Bruce, come up and explain why your name was Bruce, then it became Jim, and then it became Bruce again. Come on. No. Was it because you couldn't pronounce it, or Andy couldn't pronounce it? Or David couldn't pronounce it? Your mother all of a sudden couldn't pronounce it. Okay. She named you Bruce. She had trouble. Booze. Who would like to say something? Come on up. Oh, yeah. We got noise.
Just one at a time.
Heavens, cover your forehead, you're blinding you. I want you to know that we were pre-Pinky, but his legend has lived on to the point where I have heard about Pinky Weisberg since, although he first started out, and it was like he was a second father to almost every fellow in the chapter, but I can't speak for that. I have to talk about the original times of Resnick AZA. Talk about a bunch of naive little dumbasses. We didn't know where we were, what we were, or why we were, but thank God we had Joe Bliss. And Herbie and I were just talking that we don't even know how we got out of high school. But I just want to stress one thing. Never did we ever imagine that we would start something that would be perpetuated and in such a positive way for all those years. And we are very proud to be able to say that we started something that we can look back and see so many wonderful things that have happened and so many wonderful young men that have come through Resnick and have benefited from Resnick and have gone on to make something of themselves because of Resnick. But the one point I want to finalize with is that last night we had a reunion of just us original members, and I had not seen some of these people since 1954. But within 2 minutes, it was like we hadn't seen each other for 2 days. And it just goes to show true friendships never end. And I will always cherish my days at Resnick, and I will always cherish the friendships that I made in Resnick. And I'll always feel that if ever I need anything, I have all my Resnick brothers that I can call upon in a time of need, because I truly feel that we are brothers. I thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Okay, who else? I didn't even talk about Leslie Davis, who used to pick us up to go to Resnick and charge us a quarter. Leslie Davis charged us a quarter for the gas in his 54 Ford. Was that a Ford? 53 Ford. Unbelievable. Here comes the spokesman. Come on up. Although Rodney Weisberg said you charged him 35 cents. You only charged me 25 cents.
Thanks, Jerry. I'll echo some of Jerry's remarks. This organization that we all belong to throughout the generations has something that's not really been replicated anywhere to my knowledge. And what brings that to the forethought of my mind is that my children are growing up as teenagers now, and they don't really have, in my estimation, a lot of the things that we had and grew up with and maybe took for granted. So I want to thank Pinky for his leadership as an advisor, and I want to thank all of you all for coming out tonight and showing each other what a great organization this was. I'm a testimony to what friendships can mean throughout the years. I play in a weekly golf group that represents 4 generations of Resnick. It begins with Marty Ruby, class of 1968. It's David Cooper, the class of 69. It's Hallie Klein, the class of 70. And it's Jimmy Bornstein, the class of 71. And when we left Seneca High School back in 1968 through 71 and did our various things, we never really thought that someday we'd come back and we'd be here in Louisville. Almost like time hadn't changed, and we get together every weekend, and it's it's kind of a special thing. And our kids may think it's a little hokey because they never quite had that, but we've had it, and we know what it means, and we're going to always have it. Whether we're playing golf or tennis or just playing cards, it's something we're always going to have. And I really have to thank Pinky and the Resnick concept for allowing us to develop those kind of high school friendships that were really, really so meaningful and have carried out throughout all the years. I want to introduce one person in the room who I know was not in Resnick, but was an important part of Resnick and was a coach of our softball team for many years, and that's my father, George Klein. Please stand up, Dad. I just want to say he was an inspiration to me and gave to me and to my friends things that are really just, will really live in my memory for a long time. Along with my mom, my dad and my mom used to have skit night practices at our house, and we used to build all the props at our house for skit night, and those are the kind of memories that you're always remembering. My mom was always making a huge spaghetti dinner for all the girls and boys that came over for a skit night practice, and those are the kind of things that you think about, when you're 45 and 50 and 55, and have I left anybody out? Whatever. Those are the things you think about when you were in high school. They're really, really meaningful and very important. And I just want to thank you and thank all of you for that. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir, Coach.
I'd like to say I got back much more than I gave.
Well, thank you. How about someone else? I want to know if it's true that Mo Feinberg and Jerry Beiser together lit Beargrass Creek in Cherokee Park on fire one night. Is that true? Did you guys do it together, or did Mo do it by himself?
Alan Weisberg.
And Alan Weisberg. Oh, you all must have done it in different steps. I got you. Hi. We were also talking about starting around the room to see the women who had dated other guys in Resnick, but married other guys in Resnick. But we thought we wouldn't do that. It's good, huh? It's good. Well, anybody else? Hambone? Hambone used to have the greatest Austin Healing. I mean, the guy would drive this, huh? MG. Well, you know, Austin Healing, MG. I couldn't afford either one. Didn't matter. But I was impressed. I was impressed. Yeah, Alan. Alan Weisberg, class of 66. 66.
I can't say too much about what this evening means to me tonight. I'm overwhelmed. All I can say after hearing all these things, not only am I very proud, but I'm very lucky to have Dad as my dad. So rather than risk getting emotional, I'm going to talk about something not emotional. In reviewing who's here and who's not here, I made some observations. In addition to the charter class of 52 through 54, we have that class in 55, 56, 57. There is no class of 58, and it goes through 72. There are 17 classes in all represented this evening. 10 of those classes have more than 70% of their members here. That's remarkable. And I commend you all. And as a tribute to those classes that are included in that 10, I'll tell you which ones they are. The charter member class. The class of 55, 59, 60, 62, 63, 64, 68, 69, and 71. A special tribute goes to the classes of 59 and 63. Phil Feidelson, where are you, Phil? Because of your presence, we have 100% in that class. But also the class of 63. But the class of 63 stand up 100%. When Ron and the committee was locating all the members, Ron would fax me who was coming, who wasn't. There was a while almost on a daily basis when I just had just a thrill finding out who's coming, who wasn't coming. And because I have two older brothers, I think other than probably maybe the class of 70 and 71, I know just about everybody here, other than the charter member class and the class of 55. So it's a great thrill for me to see all these people that I know, but there's one person here who knows a higher percentage of those attending more than me, and that's Dan. He knows just about everybody. And we went through the list last night, and his memory is great. He remembers almost all of you, and it was fun doing that last night, Dad. A few other observations. There's 17 states represented here this evening, although we have 25 states in all, but we have 17 states represented. Florida, my adopted state, deserves congratulations. 6 out of 6 members who live in Florida are here tonight. All right. Washington State, 4 out of 4. Michigan and North Carolina, 3 out of 3. Whoa. Illinois, 2 for 2. We also have all of our members from Alabama, Iowa, and West Virginia, 1 each. And we also have members here from Georgia, Indiana, Maryland, Missouri, and Tennessee. So, the wandering Jew lives. New York, oh yes, New York. I'm sorry, we have 4 from New York, 4 from California, 3 from Texas, and 3 from Ohio. So we've spread far and wide. We also have 2 members living in foreign countries, 1 in Canada and 1 in Israel. Arnold Pernick is in Israel, and Sandy Kahn is a cantor in Canada. I don't think we have any rabbis. One other observation. We live in Kentucky, or states surrounding, touching Kentucky, or bordering on the United States, with one exception. Jim Bernstein, Iowa. Thank you.
That's very good. I like all these signs around the room. You know, the Resnick weekend was obviously why we had the car washes, put on the cutie contest to raise the money, District 2. Only the Shadows. Beet Pie was always great, except they're now in AZA, I understand. Rebel Rouser was our newspaper. All the olives, Godols, and Sagans, and Moskers, and I'm not sure about the olive Chatil. I have to understand. Someone's got to explain that one to me. Mr. Zeig, now this is a guy who played at Seneca in football. If he had bulked up to this level, he would have been awesome. Mike Zeigman from Houston.
Thank you. I think the first most amazing thing that I would tell you is I share a very unique experience. And that unique experience, which is paradoxical because I share that unique experience with every person in this room who is in Resnick. And that unique experience is we always thought that we were the most special of all those people because we had someone who cared about us on a very personal level. I think the reason I came up to talk is because when I was in Resnick, I think I was probably known more for not being able to talk at all. I spent 3.5 years in Resnick, and I think I hold the record, I believe I probably talked second to I'll get to that in a second. I probably talked less than anyone else in the chapter, except for Pinky. Okay, in the 12 years that Pinky was there and the different conversations that I've had with the people that came back today, we all agreed that there was only one thing in this world, okay, that would bring this many people to this place and time to be here tonight, and that's Pinky. Otherwise, that's true. If there's anybody in the audience who can tell us one other reason why we would all be in this place, in this city, at this point in time, there's not another reason. With deference to the founding class and all the other classes before, those of us who were there when Pinky was there, Resnick had just a giant underline on it, and Pinky made that underline. I was going to share an observation with you, and that was, of all the things that I remember about Resnick, whenever there would be these tete-a-tetes, and we'd have the one side over here, and we'd have this other side over here, and we'd be banging heads, and of course we had all of these monumental world-class issues that we had to settle at 1 o'clock on Sunday. After we had exhausted our breath and all of this adrenaline, and we had come to these, like I said, just two sides with impassable views, we all just sat there and we looked at one another. What did Pinky say? He hadn't said anything. We've been there for an hour and a half. Everybody's looking at their watch. They know we have 10 minutes before we say good and welfare, and we got to go. We haven't decided anything. So finally, we all look around. He hasn't said anything. And we ask Pinky, what are we going to do? So what do you think? Pinky says, I think you should do... No, Pinky didn't say that. Pinky didn't say, well, what I think or what I believe. He didn't say, well, what's right, what you should do. Nah, we didn't get any of that. He says, on one hand, boys, this side over here, they've got a good point. They make a good argument, maybe we should. On the other hand, these guys over here, I was really shy when I was in Resnick. I'm not anymore. Anyway, on the other hand, these boys over here, they make a good point too. Now, between the two of you, don't you think there's some way that we could come to an agreement and everybody would be satisfied? Maybe not so happy, but we reach an agreement. Record time, trust me. 9 out of 10, boom. We got to a conclusion. Everybody walked away. We were all still friends, good and welfare. We didn't get into profanities. Everybody was happy. You know, how many people in your life have had as much of an influence on your life by saying as little as he did? It's amazing. Those who know don't say. Those who say don't know. That's Pinky Weisberg. He knew. He always knew. He knew. Thank you, Mike.
Speaking of those meetings, without having either Barry Sherman or Barry Cooper, somebody's got to come up from that class and speak. All right, Alex Spielberg. He's related to that Spielberg guy, Stevie Spielberg. He's related to you. Big Al.
I really think when we started the first meeting at Frankie's house, and we said to ourselves, we're going to have a Resnick Reunion. And the reunion was done to honor Pinky and other advisors of Resnick. And I haven't heard Bobby Marks' name mentioned this evening, and he helped us tremendously when we were at Resnick. That we thought if we could have 100 people, 50 guys with their wives, we thought that'd be fantastic. And tonight we have, correct me if I'm wrong, 180 people. And it's just the most amazing thing in the world. And I think they're here to honor Pinky, but also I think they're here because of what Resnick did for each and every one of you guys. Pinky was there for us always. I used to borrow his car to go to school. So I know that. And I like to say, these fellas are talking about Little Abner's. I never went to Little Abner's. I went to Kalen's. And we went to Kalen's and we ate double cheeseburgers and French fries and hash browns. And Robbie Sanger and Larry Goldberg and all the guys that I knew, and Hardo Kuhn and Myron Krupp, and guys that aren't here tonight. We went to Kalen's. And also, we went to Carol Gradden's basement for our party. And those are the things that I remember. And I remember being at dances that we had. All our dances were probably held at the center, but it was the old center. And probably in basements and different things. And so I'd like to say that Pinky was always there for us too. And I think it's wonderful that you guys came, and I think it's great that everybody's here. And it's so great that everybody came back to this for this reunion. We're just so happy that you guys came. Thank you very much.
Big Al.
Thanks, Big Al. Anybody else? Come on up, Mr. Frock. Speaking on behalf of the Frock family.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Jay. You know, we've been a member of Brother Olive's for years and years and years, and it's always been a terrific honor to be a part of our group and association. Something that I think a lot of people don't realize, that we have 14 families of brothers in Resnick AZA. We have the Zeitmans, the Ross, the Frocks, the Weisbergs, the Coopers, the Hymans, the Weises, the Tasmans, the Lambs, the Hildebrands, the Yoffes, the Beisers, the Fishmans, and the Effingers. That's a lot of families. I'm done. Missing few?
Yeah. Who else?
Oh yeah, the Kahns. Okay, the Morgan ones. Well, these are the ones I can think of. I mean, all you old farts, I don't remember. But anyway, the thing is, think about this. Who else did I miss? Silvermans, okay. You know, this is a lot of families that, like, you know, listen, I could have ended up with Brower someplace, you know, Jesus, and what a lousy situation. I mean, but really, this is great to be in Resnick, I'm telling you. Yeah. And be part of the Resnick AZA tradition. So this is a wonderful thing. Y'all remember bids? Wasn't that a great time? I'll tell you what, Dad used to tell me, son, bring me back the car with rubber on the tires from leaving the parking lot of the JCC. I used to love laying rubber with the car, getting out to give out bids. That was one of the most fun times. Wasn't it fun? All right. Listen, Pinky, I love you. Thank you. You've meant a lot to all of us, and we love you. You'll always be number one in our family. Thank you.
Bids were great. Bids were great, Pinky, when you got a bid on the first day. There are a lot of us that didn't get bids on the first day. And we called Ronnie to say, you know, what happened? Did Resnick not get bids? Remember that? You don't remember that, Jerry. You got a bid probably the first time. I waited the first day. I didn't get a bid. Waited the second day. They finally called. Fortunately, enough guys turned it down, so I got to be in Resnick. Anybody else? That's a true story, Marcia. That's a true story. BJ, well, I mean, I tried to get in. I had cousins in the damn organization. Coopers couldn't help me.
Sandy Smith is taller than you.
Oh, yeah. Anybody else before I call Pinky up?
Mention Frisch's.
Frisch's. How many guys in the room were Frisch's big boy? Stand up. Guys who were Frisch's big boys. The guys that ended up getting the jacket and congratulations, Resnick. All right. And that was Frisch's at Talesville Road, right? Talesville Road and Bon Air, right? We knew how to stuff the ballot box. And I can also remember the first McDonald's in Louisville. It seemed to me after Resnick meetings, we went out to Hikes Point a lot for Resnick McDonald's hamburgers. Gary Linker, psychologist, has his own university, living in Santa Barbara, one of the greatest places in America. Gary Linker, my debate partner in high school.
Thank you, Jerry. I just wanted to say a few words. This is a very wonderful weekend for me. I'm really sorry my wife couldn't join me. We have little ones. I got a late start in the marriage business. Didn't get married until I was 40, so I'm playing catch up with a lot of you guys. I must say I envy a few of them who have ones already finished with college. It's a nice thought. But it's wonderful to be here. I just want to say something that was very powerful for me. This afternoon, I came to the Weisberg's house, and I want to say how welcome and how warm the guys were who I had never known. Guys who were in Resnick 10, 15 years before I was. And I really appreciated the warmth that I felt just because we had been brothers. And the Resnick experience was a shaping experience for all of us. Quite frankly, I feel very indebted to this place. The Jewish Community Center is a very unique place. I live in Santa Barbara, California. It's a wonderful community, but we don't have a Jewish Community Center. It makes a tremendous difference in people's lives. And I tip my hat to Marty Ruby and the many people in this room who have kept the Jewish Community Center alive, because it gave me a great start in my life, great foundation, a great confidence builder, and I think we all are indebted to what this place does, and I hope that all of us will continue to support it as we did through the difficulties they had with the flooding and all, and what a great place it is today. So I wanted to say a few words about that, because I didn't want that to be forgotten. I have many fond memories, Pinky, of being at your house and being with Ronnie and with Alan and all the wonderful times that we had. There's someone else, I think, that ought to be mentioned who was a very powerful influence, and that was Miriam, in terms of what she meant to me and to a lot of the people here. And I know that many of us miss her greatly. But I just want to say that this has been a tremendous gathering. I hope we do it again sometime. And I thank you all. And I look forward to many years of involvement and contact as we continue to build a great Resnick and a great Jewish center, and with kind of leadership Jerry's provided, a better city and country and world. Thanks.
You know, many of you wrote in on your applications the things that you remembered most and thoughts that came to your mind about this. And I thought Ronnie was just, wherever he went, Ronnie was just sharing with me some of your thoughts. I thought a couple of them were worth reading. Jerry Steinberg, class of '62, he said the thing that, what was the question that they were answering, Ronnie?
What was their fondest memories?
What was their fondest memories of Resnick? Thinking Jerry Abramson was crazy when he said he wanted to be in government. Observing that Bruce Roth thought high school would go on forever. and believing that the farmer was Pinky's brother. You remember when you used to do that farmer bit? Ray Davis, class of 71, said his fondest memory was creaming pie in sports. Alan Cooper said the graduation party at Pinky's house. That was at Pinky's house? Yeah, you remember that? Gary Silverman said cruising with the guys, card games. We didn't play many cards. Athletic teams, socials. Bob Gordon said piling into my Rambler American convertible and cruising Cherokee Park. Slow dancing at socials. Aggressive Resnick bumpers. Josie's Pizza at Hikes Point, being beau of Modern Femmes, friendship circles, dating my then-to-be wife. Isn't that sweet? Stuart Yaffe said, Stuart, this is you, the Song Fest, you were a jock. The Song Fest and projects on which we all work, nothing has replaced the closeness we all shared and for which the memories have held fast. That's really nice. John Hyman, class of 70, weekends at Otter Creek. We didn't have any weekends at Otter Creek. Where's Hyman? We didn't have any weekends at Otter Creek. He had weekends at Otter Creek. Card games, socializing, Josie's Pizza again. Alex Spielberg's eating pie. In everything, winning skit night. Dickie Gould, my fondest memory was bid day with all the cars pulling up in front of my house. I never had that memory. Rose, I asked you to get your son to get me a Resnick, and you couldn't deliver, Rose. The all-night card games, Resnick weekends. This is Dickie Gould. Ron Weisberg, friendships, Resnick weekends, cutie contests, meetings at the pool on Sundays, camping trips with Beiser, Ross, Yadovsky at Lake Cumberland. You remember the SS Resnick? For those of you that weren't there after bids were over, or I guess during the bid period, we used to have a time here at the Jewish Community Center when we would bring the 8th graders through, and each club would have an opportunity to tell them what it was like to be in their club. And these guys, Weisberg, Beiser, who else was in that? Yadovsky, Roth, they'd go to Cumberland every year, and they had this boat, this little speedboat. So they wrote on the side of the speedboat, SS Resnick. And we had this film that we would show here at the center. We'd say, you join Resnick 88, we got our own Navy. That's true. Stuart Robinson says very close brotherly friendship experiences, including conventions, cutie contests, skit nights, fundraisers, Pinky fundraisers. I never saw you at a car wash. Pinky's unbelievable leadership and guidance, etc. It goes on and on. Lots of really good people. Jay Brodsky, regional and district conventions, so he was hustling all the girls. Where's Jay? Yeah, I mean, that's what convention was about. And you got to leave town and go home. Lee Davis, parties with Mo Feinberg in his 1960 Corvair. Did you have a Corvair? Yeah?
Lee drove it.
And the Glass House restaurant. Remember the Glass House restaurant? Well, there's a blast from the past. Lee Davis remembers setting Beargrass Creek on fire. I thought it was you, Mo and Jerry.
That must have been a Resnick tradition that no one knew about.
Yeah. Rob Silver. Too many memories to list. Growing from kids to young adults. The intense friendship and high energy level. Various adventures. Well, that's the bottom line. Let me introduce to you the guy that, say a few words, who made a difference. I had the pleasure in the spring of leading the Louisville delegation to Philadelphia when the President of the United States and all those living presidents, former presidents, as well as General Powell, called a summit in Philadelphia for the future of America, the children of our country. I had 2,000 people there, 150 cities were invited, and states, all 50 states. And we talked about what was working and what wasn't working in cities to get the attention of young people and get them focused on being the kind of positive individuals and assets in our society rather than the difficulties and liabilities that they have ended up being over the years. And what we could do in our community to make a difference. And we've started a campaign for kids, and we're trying to reach out and connect a caring adult with every at-risk kid in our community. That's what we're doing in Louisville, and that's what communities across America are doing. And that's what General Powell's all about. In fact, he'll be here on November 4th to give us our push for the last 10 days. Well, I would tell you that General Powell and President Clinton and Bush and Carter and Ford and Reagan couldn't have a better member of their army focusing on connecting caring adults with kids who need guidance and need leadership. There's nobody in this country who has meant so much to so many guys and given us an anchor on which to be able to have a solid foundation upon which each of us could grow and develop in our own way, doing our own thing, but develop in a positive way for our respective communities and our society and our country. Nobody but Charles Pinky Weisberg. Ladies and gentlemen, man.
I'm not dead yet. Sounds like my music. Oh, yeah. Every night, 2 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and I'm thinking about this reunion. What does a man say that has over 90 sons? Pretty lucky guy, huh? 90 sons. Y'all have given me so much, you have no idea. You know, one class went through 3 years at the center. I had about 8 or 9 classes. And the memories I have are unbelievable. And years ago, what I would do, I would take a bottle and I'd think about the cutie contest. And I thought about that cutie contest in 1966 and I put it in the bottle. And then I thought about passing our bids. And I thought about that and I put it in the bottle. So now, whenever I want to think about these events, I take the bottle, and take that cart, and all these memories come out. And I've got cases and cases of bottles. They're wonderful. You can't buy them. This has been very emotional for me. Today, at Ron's house, you guys came in, and it just when I saw you were going up and hugging and kissing each other. And everybody hugged and kissed me, and I'm a very affectionate man, and I love it, as I've always kissed my son. But it was wonderful, and I know that you guys came from a long distance, and it's worth every minute of it. I'm thinking about BBYO. Let me just get a little commercial. And BBYO is having a little rough time. B'nai B'rith is having a rough time. And Friday night, I was at an affair, and someone said, Pink, I heard that you've got the big weekend. He said, I'm going to send you $100 for that, for BBYO. Then I have a father that I play golf with, and his son is in Resnick. And he said, Pinky, I'm sending you a blank check. Fill it in for BBYO. Ronnie told me, and the committee told me, that any funds that are left over from this affair will go to BBYO. And if any of you have little foundations, you want to send a little check to BBYO, it will help some other young boys experience what you have. You know, wonderful organization, BBYO, and we're all grateful. And let me, I don't want to be too serious with this. You talk about Jerry. Jerry could never make politics. But the night that he was being installed as the mayor of our city, and it was at one of the big hotels, Jerry's up on the platform, and I'm in the back, and he saw me, and I read his lips. He said, Pinky, I made it. I think a few years after that, we made him an honorary Olive to go. Let me tell you about Jerry. You know, Jerry, a lot of you don't know this, Jerry was the president of the Mayors of America. Quite an honor. And you know, he's flown on US Air One with the President Clinton, and he's really well known throughout the country. And we're all very proud of Jerry. We really are. You've done a great job. 12 years as our mayor, and it will go down in history that he was one of the finest mayors that Louisville's ever had. I just want to thank all of you for being here. I love all you guys. You know, it's such a wonderful feeling. I play golf and play with David Cooper. David comes up and hugs me. You know, it's a great feeling. And when you guys saw me tonight, you hugged me. Don't stop it, okay? We were talking the other night at dinner, Ron and Frank, Alan. And I said to Alan, to Ronnie, I said, you think we could have another reunion? He said, I don't think so. But what I've heard from you guys today, in 10 years, you'd like to have another one. And I'm going to be there. Marvin is going to take care of me, right? I'll only be 88.
That's all right.
That's all right.
Thanks again to everybody. It's just, I'm a very fortunate man, and I thank you, and I'm appreciative of it. God bless you all.
Okay, we got a couple of things we got to do. One, we got a reminder that if you haven't filled out your questionnaire, please print it up and give it to Ron Weisberg, who needs the forms, because we're going to compile them in terms of where you are, what you're doing, and how your life's been going. Anyone who wants a picture, obviously already signed up. If you haven't signed up and you want a $7 picture or a $15 video, where do they sign up, Ron? Right there, the young lady in the black. Right before the friendship circle, we're going to have the guys are going to go outside in the lobby.
To the left, outside.
Okay, the guys are going to go outside to the left. We're going to have a picture of all the fellas that are here. Don't get up yet. And then we're going to come back.
The picture's free.
Oh yeah, the picture's free, Ronnie said. The picture of all of us is free. That's good. These are Jewish guys, I forgot. Okay, this is not a UJA campaign. This is just you go out and take a picture. Now, you got to remember that tomorrow morning we're going to be here for our brunch. We always had a brunch at Resnick Weekends, 10 o'clock here in the auditorium. There is in the patio gallery, some of you may not have seen it, but there's a book that we're sort of writing messages to Pinky. So if you get it, not yet, get a chance, stop by the patio room. There's a book there for you to sign and say a few words to Pinky. Pinky has had some souvenir coffee mugs from, I suspect, Louisville Stoneware, if I had to bet, that he'll be giving out to just the members of Resnick. Don't pick up more than one. Unless you're going to take one to somebody in your hometown that you know couldn't make it, and then let Ronnie know, because we've got enough for every Resnick Bacher, but we got to send them to them if you don't take them. But we got just one for everybody. When the picture is over, we're going to come back. Jimmy Bernstein, we've got a Jimmy Bornstein, we've got a birthday cake for you, Jimmy, over here. Now, come on up, Jimmy, real quick. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jimmy. Happy birthday to you. We got a Shabbos candle, and the Shabbos is going to blow it out. Just blow it out. We're moving on. All right. Okay. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning here. Right now, the guys are going to go out.
Jerry, one thing.
Yeah, Jake.
I was on the committee that helped to get this, but we could not have done it without Ronnie Weisberg.
Let's hear it for Ronald. The great thing about Mouse was that he turned 16 on January 1st. Then he was the first one to drive in my class. And we loved it. And we love you, Ron. Thank you. Okay, here's the deal. The deal is that the guys are gonna go out front. The ladies will stay. We're gonna have dessert here in the room, and then we'll have a friendship circle when we return, right? Right. Okay, so the guys go out and take a left. Ladies stay.
I'm not going to be able to see you. Everybody look here at me. Here we go now. Nice smiles. 1, 2. All right, we're going to take about 4 more. It's a big group. It looks like about 80% of you have glasses on. All right, here we go. A couple more. Look here. 1, 2. We're going to do a few more. Here we go. Hold it there now. All right. 1, 2, 3. This is a big group. We're going to do a couple more. Here we go now. Look right here at me now. 1, 2. Just 2 more. Here we go now. Look right here at me. Everybody look here at me. Here we go. Hold it there. 1, 2. One last one. Here we go now. Resnick. 1, 2. Very good. Anybody but Linker.
Don't let Gary speak. I gotta
here all
I got a flight by 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Come on, I'm with Louis Rowe's sister. This is Louis Rowe's sister.
That's great. Oh, absolutely. You just got something. Oh, it's wonderful. I just love it.
Okay, make a wish. Whether it's fair or in dark stormy weather, crazy will keep us together. White and blue, we will ever be true.
Someone singing.
Someone singing, my Lord, Kumbaya, oh Lord, Kumbaya.
Crying.
Someone's crying.
I'll be back like I ever did. I'll be looking like I did.
Vaccine says she just thinks you're going to blow away your tooth.
Stuart, over here. Stuart, over here. Plenty of room. Always wandering around. Stuart.
Dear God, we, Olives of Resnick ACA, have experienced many friendship circles years ago. It was very real at that time, because I remember many of you said, "Dear God, what am I going to do when I leave Resnick?" Jerry said, Resnick was our security blanket. It was very real. I think some of you wanted to start all over again. But let's all pray that each of you, when you travel home with your families, that you have a safe trip. And I wish each and every one here a very healthy and happy. Very nice.